here we go. This is a good one. The bell has just sounded. Out come both wrestlers. This is the kind of wrestling that I like to see. It's a scientific match. We've got two scientific wrestlers. Of course, from El Paso, formerly of Mexico, Chavo Guerrero, and his opponent from the Carolinas, Big Ben. Now, Big Ben has really won all the time on great wrestling from the Olympic, and Chavo Guerrero, to my knowledge, has never lost, so this is going to be a good match. We've got some good wrestling here. Both wrestlers trying to get a legal hold. Both wrestlers stand at the ready. The referee says wrestle. Chavo Guerrero and Big Ben. Chavo Guerrero, of course, being a former America's heavyweight wrestling champion and one of the top brothers of the Guerrero family. Of course, all the brothers are just excellent wrestlers. You've got Mondo and you've got Hector. And I understand pretty soon you're going to have another Guerrero that's going to be wrestling. So you're going to have like 4 Guerreros wrestling. It's a big family. And right now, with a big figure 4, you've got Chavo Guerrero on Big Ben with the question into Big Ben. What do you say? Figure 4 toe hold. Chavo releases it. Big Ben now going to work with a headlock on Chavo Guerrero. Recently, Chavo grew a mustache, been sporting a mustache. Arm drag, roll over. Good escape. Chavo Guerrero. Now there's a reverse figure 4 on Guerrero. Chavo can do one of two things. He can reach behind. There's a ride by Big Ben on top of Guerrero. Of course, still adding pressure with his right leg onto the figure 4 that he's made. Releases it. Tried for a fireman's carry, but he seemed to have missed it. Guerrero taking advantage of the arm. Stakes it out. Keys it. And he's got a good top wrist lock. Many fans say, well, how come just grabbing the wrist is going to stop a wrestler from doing anything? Well, what you're doing is you're adding pressure on the wrist. You're twisting. And, of course, that's very painful. So every time you try to make a move, you add that pressure. And really, you can't really do much of anything. A lot of wrestlers will work on the fingers as well as the wrist once they have it. And that's very painful. Bending back your fingers and holding the wrist. Good escape by Big Ben. If you went by points, you'd have to give Big Ben the points. It's an escape in amateur wrestling. Good. Both men shake hands. I like to see that. Mark, you like to see that?
Wrestling shake.
Yeah. Yeah, sportsmanship. That's the word. Good. I like that rather than some of the eye gouging and hair pulling. There's a good arm bar. Chicken wing. Oh, hot trip takeover. Very good by Chavo Guerrero. You'd have to give Guerrero some points for that. Both wrestlers. Temper's not really flaring, which is good. You know, a lot of times the temper will get the best of one man because of something. Going to that left arm. See what he can do with it. Chavo trying to trip him. Takes him down, sets him up. Once again, has that schoolboy ride on him. Now goes to work with a variation reverse arm bar and chicken wing. That adds a lot of pressure to the shoulder. You can feel a lot. In fact, what you can do is separate tendons that are in the shoulder and really have a lot of pain the next day. You wake up and think your arm is broken. And applying a lot of pressure to the back. Chavo Guerrero has a goal to go for the America's Heavyweight Wrestling Championship that he held previously 3 times. And of course the champion, the Golden Greek John Tolis, holds that belt. So it would be nice if Chavo Guerrero would get a shot at the title. Guerrero had several wild matches when he was the champion with Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper was just starting out. He was early in his career, and Chavo Guerrero and Roddy Piper, they fought tooth and nail all over the West Coast, and both men seem to have wins and losses against each other, so it's about even, I would say. But the wild wars that Chavo Guerrero and Roddy Piper had, that'll go down in the record books, and it'll be one of the top matches between two wrestlers. And right now we got a good one here between Big Ben and Chavo Guerrero. We just don't want tempers to get carried away, so these men start to wrestle rough. Right now both men are wrestling very scientific, sizing one another up, trying to see what the weakness of one man is against another. Lace finger hand lock, test of strength. Both wrestlers now applying weight to each other and also using the hands as grips. And let's see who has most of the strength with this maneuver. Muscles really straining, as you can tell. The old Romans used to do this. In fact, sometimes they would stay in this position for hours in their wrestling contests. Monkey flip right off the ropes. Good move. Right on top of Guerrero. Tries to pin him, but Guerrero upends him. Now tries to reverse it. Can't do it. Gets off, and both men stand at the ready. Good move. Good move. And I think Chavo Guerrero even appreciated it. He did. He appreciates that. Both men shaking hands. I'll tell you, when you're taught to learn to wrestle, it takes a lot of time, a lot of years, a lot of hard work. And so when you meet another wrestler that also has learned your skill, and you both apply scientific holds, you appreciate one another's ability. And that's what the game is all about, rather than getting in the ring and kicking each other and pounding each other until one man is senseless. And really, that's not wrestling. What we're looking at is professional wrestling. Arm drag, takedown. Arm bar by Big Ben. It may not be as wild or as colorful as some of the other antics that go on in wrestling today, but this is what wrestling is all about, what we talk about. We've got a good card coming up on this edition of Great Wrestling from the Olympic. You are going to see the Great Goliath and Professor Ito. We'll also see Cowboy Tom Pritchard and the Golden Boy. And in the main event, listen to this. It is a good one. Al Madril will return. He's going to do double duty against the mysterious masked assassin. Right now, Golden Boy trying to, body slam, kicked away. Arm drag back into that arm bar. That's coming up all on this edition of Great Wrestling from the Olympic Auditorium in downtown Los Angeles, California. And for those of you all over the country and all over the world, for that matter, if you come to beautiful California, sunny California, it never rains here. One of the places I'm sure you'll want to see is the Olympic Auditorium and the home of the world's greatest wrestling stars. Chavo Guerrero just picks him up in a fireman's carry and sets him on the corner post, and that shows you the ability of Chavo Guerrero. He's feeling his hand has been drained. When you're in that armbar position for a length of time, the blood begins to run out of your fingers and begins to get a little tingly and numb, like if your foot's asleep. Side headlock by Chavo Guerrero on Big Ben. Chavo Guerrero with the upper hand. Big Ben trying to get a release out of this. And how do you do it scientifically so that you don't have to pull hair or use some other illegal hold? He picks up Chavo Guerrero. Chavo sets him down. Referee Red Shoes Dugan watching very closely, counting when he has to. Scientific wrestling. Last edition of Great Wrestling from the Olympic, we saw a lot of top names. And on one edition, we even saw a battle of the bad guys, you might say, between Rugged Ron Starr and the Golden Boy. In this edition, we've got a scientific battle between Big Ben from the Carolinas and Chavo Guerrero. Father Gory Guerrero, and of course brother Hector Guerrero, and Mondo Guerrero. And all three brothers at one time held the America's Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Good escape. Takes him into a side head scissors. Headlock. Time running out. This is one of our time limit events. 15-minute time limit. Time is running slowly out. Big Ben and Chavo Guerrero. Of course, both men would like a win because a win would get them closer to the America's Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Tempers are beginning to wear a little bit thin, I believe. Into the ropes goes Big Ben to secure release. Chavo's backed into the ropes. Both men break. Stand at the ready. Back body drop. Reverse pin, 1. Only for a count of 1. It was almost over for Chavo Guerrero. Big Ben, very cagey. Ben picks up Chavo Guerrero, slams him to the mat, tops him for 1. Only a count of 1. Snapmare by Big Ben, tops him again. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. A second away from a win. Another snapmare, takedown. Tops him. 1, 2. Only a count of 2. Into the ropes, and there's a good side body flip, and let's see what happens. It's Big Ben for only 1. Big Ben now has the upper hand on Chavo. Looks like this could be it for Chavo Guerrero. Into the ropes and tries for a hip toss again, but he's reversed. Backslide and pin for 1, 2, 3. It only takes 1 mistake, and that was it for Big Ben. Your winner, Chavo Guerrero. We'll be back.